Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and today we're going to be doing a deck guide on the Random Rogue, a very fun and interesting kind of rogue deck to play, definitely off the curve of what you normally see. You normally see like Malagos Rogue, Miracle Rogue, but you don't really see this tempo aggressive type of rogue deck, and it definitely doesn't even cost that much to really build. So if you're looking for a fairly cheap, in comparison to other decks, fun and different deck, this is definitely your way to go. For those of you who are new to the channel and not really sure how we do our deck guides, we go ahead and we talk about the deck list, we talk about why we have 2 ofs, 1 ofs, we talk about each individual card and how it kind of goes into the deck. From there, we're going to head into some ranked games. We're going to talk about the mulligans, what we should be looking for in each individual match, and then kind of at the end, we'll do a sort of summary of the deck and kind of how we did. So without further ado, double backstab. This is basically just your tempo play, works well with any combo-based abilities in the deck. Such as the SI agent and the Evis's and things of that nature. So it just combos really well, and it definitely deals with your opponent's cards fairly easily. It's just in the early games, being able to backstab their 3-2 is huge. The Abusive Sergeant, unfortunately, this guy is not a 1-drop 2-1 anymore, but his battle cry is what really made him good, and that's give a minion +2 attack. So whether you're either trading up or pushing for more damage, this guy's going to be able to kind of give you that boost you need to get to where you're trying to go. The Argent Squire has Divine Shield. She's basically just a really solid 1-drop that your opponent's not going to have an answer to right away. And on top of that, a lot of classes have a hard time dealing with Divine Shield cards, unless they're like a mage or a druid. I would just say mage in particular, because they can just hero power it. They don't actually have to take damage from it, but druids and rogues have to actually swing into the creature. So if you like have a creature with Divine Shield such as this, and you end up giving it like cold blood, and you make it have 5 attack, it's going to be really difficult for your opponent to want to smack their face into it and take the 5 damage. So not only is it a sticky minion, it's a really annoying minion if you end up giving it buffs such as cold-blooded. The Bladed, again, this is just kind of one of those combo cards. It's a 1-drop 2-3. It's a zombie chow without the death rattle that gives your opponent 5 HP. Just a solid 1-drop. The Buccaneer works because it allows you to hero power and give it the +1 attack, which allows you to trade into your opponent's early game minions. Again, more field control in the early game, allowing you to build up a really resilient, small-based board. Kind of just nitpicking your opponent for some, like... burst damage at the end through like a Leroy, Argent Commander, and Cold Blood. Again, Cold Blood, moving on to that, of course 2 of them, and it's going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage very, very quickly if you can combo it out. Most of the time, you're not going to be trying to make trades with Cold Blood. You're going to be finishing off the game with it or attaching it to a Divine Shield minion, and it's going to make it for your opponent. It's going to make... So your opponent's going to have to deal with that, and it's going to be very inconvenient for them because a lot of classes have trouble dealing with, like I said, Divine Shield. So yeah. The Swashbuckler, again, I wouldn't say again, but Swashbuckler, 1-drop, 1-1, battle cry, add a random class card to your hand. So it's basically just more gas. Works, again, well with your combo-based abilities, but it's practical purposes to get the random card from your opponent's class. The Ringleader, summoning a 2-1 and it being a 2-2 in stats is basically a 4-3 for 2 if you can combo it out. There's a lot of 1 and 2 drops in the deck. Being able to combo this guy out really isn't an issue. And as you can see, this deck definitely revolves around summoning very cheap minions and very efficient minions. Evis is basically either dealing with your opponent's minions, whether it's an Azure Drake, a Harrison, whatever, or you could just go face with it. The Undercity Huckster is just more gas. It's a 2 for 2, and it adds a random class card to your hand. As you can see, a lot of these cards in this deck obtain either value through playing them or when they die. So because Rogue doesn't have a lot of draw, we have to like mimic that through cards such as like Swashbuckler, Ringleader, which gives us an additional card, Undercity Huckster, then it dies, it gives us a card, Azure Drake allows us to draw a card. So there's a lot of like, I wouldn't say draw mechanics, but abilities that allow us to keep the ball rolling. The Horse Rider, very aggressive base tempo deck. Definitely have to have this guy in there. Again, has the Divine Shield, has charge, and giving it Cold Blood definitely helps it out. SI Agent, this is just rogue staples. Dealing 2 damage with a combo piece is huge. Whether you're killing a minion or pushing more damage, it's kind of a card you can't go without. The Poison Mine, again, more gas. I know the stats aren't too great on this guy, but the Battle Cry gives you a random toxin, and then that toxin either is going to allow you to push more damage, draw an extra card, bring a card back to your hand, such as like maybe an Abusive or a Swashbuckler, or even the Argent Commander, so you can attack again with him, or maybe hold him off, so just make sure he doesn't die. Definitely a very solid card in the deck, and I think he... Normally, this guy, you look at him and it's like, okay, well, can he fit into Miracle and can he fit into Malagos? And the answer is no. But does he fit into like a mid-rangey sort of tempo, even aggressive deck? He actually does, and you'll see. He fits in quite well. The Azure Drake, again, more gas. Spell power is always great in Rogue, and drawing is fantastic. The Leroy Jenkins and Commanders are basically your late-game chargers. Your Argent Commanders actually don't even have to be late-game. You can either trade with them or just go face. Again, they have Divine Shield, making it for your very annoying for your opponent to deal with. Your Leroy Jenkins, though, on the other hand, Leroy Jenkins, Cold Blood, 14 damage burst from hand for only 7 mana, and most of the time you don't go Cold Blood because the chances of having all 3 are quite low, but Leroy Jenkins Cold Blood, you're pushing 10 damage, which is 1/3 of your opponent's life for only 6 mana, and you'll find yourself being able to get yourself out of very tight situations and win the game with this guy. So that's good. So without further ado, we've gone over the deck, we've explained the cards, and we're going to head into the matches for you guys so you can actually see this very interesting, weird deck in action. So heading into our first game here, we're going against a Warlock, all right? So if you notice, we actually have our green screen now because we're back in Orlando. And we're back playing on our home computer. Sorry I couldn't make a run all in one right there, but can't really help having to fly out in the morning, and I really didn't have time to finish up the deck guide. So hopefully you guys don't mind. The Ringleader is always good with coin, and the Horse Rider is just good in general. But the problem is Horse Rider, I like it. If he's playing Zoo, then Horse Rider and Ringleader are really, really good. Azure Drake, not so much. Just Abusive, probably not so much. So depending on what we draw next, Cultist, all right. I'm thinking just the coin Ringleader. There's nothing that really coining into this guy is just bad. And then turn 2, like let's say we can like Abusive Sergeant and then Cult, and then that's fine. Then our turn 3 is Horse Rider. But if he plays like a card with 1 HP, and then probably Abusive, the 2/2 2/1 swings in there. This makes sense. It's worked out pretty well. And then we've got the Horse Rider to trade in to his 3-drop. Hopefully he doesn't have Imp Gang Boss. I'd prefer the 1/5 over the Imp Gang Boss, because the Imp Gang Boss is just going to summon a bunch of shit. We basically have to ignore it. Any card but the 1/1. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So Horse Rider is no doubt, right? Do we trade, leave the 2/1 alive, or do we just trade? I think we're gonna trade up here. We're gonna do it like this, so he only has 1 creature on the board. It's weak to Mortal Coil, but I don't think he plays that. And that 1/1 that comes back to life, he can power overwhelming it, he can dire wolf it, he can do a lot of things. And plus, it's turn 4 Defender of Argus, but since he doesn't have 2 creatures, only 1 Defender of Argusing and 1 creature doesn't matter because the creature he has now can currently kill both the creatures I have on the board. Knife Juggler doesn't do anything really for him. And then trading into that is what we kind of, no offense, just kind of wanted him to do. This is good. So we can Horse Rider. Let's give this one the buff. This swings into here, this swings into here, and then this goes face. And the reason we give this one the Cold Blood is because it has Divine Shield, and again, Warlocks, it's not like a Mage or a Druid or a class that can be able to deal 1, or a Warrior that can be able to deal 1 damage very easily. It's gonna have a hard time getting through this. So we can either, depending on what we draw, drop the Azure Drake, or no, I think we're gonna have to Hero Power. So hopefully drop Swash, this is good, so we can actually combo. Wrathguard. So we know we're hero powering. We know this goes here. This goes here. And we can either drop the Ringleader or the Wrathguard, and we know this is going face. It's too much damage not to go face. We know he's going to make the double trade into there, so this being, I think, it all depends. So this is going to die to a 2-1. This has to die to there. Yeah, I think just going wide right here is fine. Because he's going to have to sacrifice 2 attacks into the 6-1 with Divine Shield anyway, right? So if we can have 3 creatures on the board, let's say 2 of them die, including the Divine Shield, we're going to have at least 3 damage down. He's tapping, and then our dagger, and then plus the charges in our deck. I mean, unless he's magically playing Reno, I think we're in a pretty good situation, unless he also defenders. There's one trade. You going to kill off this guy? No, you must have a Void Walker. The only reason you'd be killing everything but the big creature... What? You have Mortal Coil? What do you have? Defender of Argus? No, you already just used... You don't have 4 mana anymore. You're abusing a card you already attacked with. You're soul firing the Silverware Golem because you wanted... Oh, it doesn't even have the Silverware. Okay. So I guess we Wrath just a combo. And then we just go face. Put him at 1. So now he can't tap, and he only has, what, 7 damage on board? We're at 28, so we're not really scared, and we have so many chargers in the deck, plus we can dagger up to attack phase. Maybe if he was at more life, we would have, of course, killed maybe some of these 1/1s, but in this situation, just making it sure he can't tap is key. Yeah, alrighty. I haven't seen the Dark Iron Dwarf in a long time, so that was actually pretty cool that, you know, somebody's playing it. I would play it in my zoo. It's just a good card. The Abusive Sergeant's amazing, and that's statted at 1/1 for 1. So what's wrong with a 4/4 that gives the same thing as Abusive Sergeant? Would you not want more Abusive Sergeants in your deck? Of course you would. Alright, so playing against a druid named Large Balls. Alright. Swash is something I like. Buccaneer, not so much. Horse Rider's okay against Druid, but the problem is we don't have coin. So this is kind of a slow hand. We need a turn 2 play. We have a turn 1 play, we have a turn 3 play, we need a turn 2 play. There's a reason why there's like 16 1 and 2 drops in the deck. And he has the card back you get from going to a Hearthstone Fireside Gathering. So maybe he'll put up quite of a challenge. Unfortunately, we've had some really bad luck the past couple days playing this game. Like, I don't even want to talk about the amount of times. We were at rank, I think, close to 7, and we dropped down to 12. And it's from basically playing Dragon Druid, and that deck fucking sucks. Like, I thought the deck was good, it performed well, and then all of a sudden just performed really, really, really bad. So I'm not going to do a deck out on a deck that does not perform. Alright, so this card is questionable. It's good that we drew a 1-drop, because then we can go, like, abusive... Oh. Deal damage equal to your hero's attack to a minion. Well, our attack's never going to get past 2 maximum because of the... what's his name? The Buccaneer. So this is pretty fucking useless. A Wrath, Living Roots, Swipe, Nourish. Anything would have basically been better than this. I think this is one of the... I think this is the worst druid spell we could have gotten, besides Ancestral. Yeah, I can't think of a worse one than Ancestral's Communion, right? Druids have a lot of spells. Oh, that's perfect. Good stuff. Building up that wide board against a druid is key. Because even if they Swipe's going to deal 1 damage to everything. This is going to live. He's only going to be able to target 1 for the 4. It's just good stuff going on. Rips the Wild Growth on 2, but who doesn't? He's obviously a very skilled druid player. So we could go really wide with the Ringleader, but then we play into Swipe. So I think I'm just going to keep going in with our Divine Shields, and we're just going to keep the keep these 2 in our hand. Because we could have gone Abusive Sergeant, Ringleader, pushed a little bit... Well, it would have been the same damage, basically, but we summoned 2 more creatures. But he could swipe, and then they would have been the end. Because now if he swipes, it's not going to really kill anything, right? It's going to kill a 2/3, it's going to kill this 1/1, and these guys are going to be left Divine Shieldless. Plays a 5-drop. What would it be, a dragon? Claw for the defense. All right, that makes sense. There's the Buccaneer when you need them. So if we Buccaneer hero power, that's 2. We savagery it, we attack, and then we swing our 2-1 into it, or we swing our 2-3 into it, or we go ahead and we buff up this guy, give it 3, swing into here. Hero power, that's 4. I think Buccaneer is the best play. So we'd swing. Oh, for the we can actually give this guy. No. Either way, it's 2 damage, right? So I'd rather just deal this. And then do we swing our 2-1s and keep our 2-1 safe and play around swipe? I think we play around swipe. No, it doesn't play around swipe. No, it does. Because this 2-1 would stay alive. So it's either a 1-1 stays alive or a 2-1 stays alive based on a swipe this turn. So it's good. It's not a lot, but it's still an extra 1 damage. So what did he coin out the claw? Yeah, he did. Mire Keeper for 2-2, I'm assuming. All right, and then Innervate hero power, Living Roots to kill this, but our 2 is going to be able to kill this 2 anyway, unless we kill into this, attack into this, and then attack into that. 1 turn off there, but we know we're going to be playing the Abusive. It doesn't really matter how the trades go. So this can go here, this can go here, this goes here, and then these go here. Gotta go wide. Gotta go wide! So swipe hero power. Basically 1 thing will live. But then we just whip out this guy. He's going to take 6 more next turn and the hero power 7. Moonglade Portal. Do not give him Sylvanas or anything with huge with taunt. Bolf, that's pretty bad for us, but not too bad. So we just basically go face with everything and then Bolf will die. That's like so good for him because he basically just healed for, what is that, 9, 6? He healed for 15. Healed for 15. So if he would have been, if he was put at, did we have lethal right there? That's 6, 8, 9, 11, 13, 14? I don't think so. No, he'd be put at 3 right now or something like that. Fandral, Wrath to draw 1. Raven Idol into the Inception, right? He's gonna get some like, oh gosh. This is either really good that he just gets something bad, or it's really bad for him and we'll just get lucky. Because Raven Idol changes games, right? Because if he gets like an Innervate and then he can just Innervate and then he plays like double Wrath. Oh gosh. You could have gotten a Living Roots, summon 1/1 Groots, then we're actually going to have to make trades. Depending on when we have lethal next turn. So like I'm assuming because we kept Backstab, we can combo it with Cold Blood. Leroy is going to be good. There's a lot of good draws that we have. Plus we still have, oh god, Stone Tusk Boar coming in hot. Killing the 2-1, making the plays. Poison Mind. So how much damage do we have? He's 16, we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. So I guess we could go with the Zeril, see what we get first. Draw a card, alright. Cold Blood. Commander doesn't change anything. I feel like this guy definitely needs to die. We're gonna kill off our 2/2. The reason being the others live to swipe, and currently we still have enough damage on the board to still have lethal next turn while keeping all of our Divine Shield minions up, so I think that was fun. I value Divine Shield very, very highly in this deck. Moonglade Portal into 5/5. Still not enough considering we have a lot of burst. We have 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 17 coming at him, and he has 14 with hero power. So he's going to need something like an Innervate. Living Roots taking out 2 more damage on the board. Okay. It's probably going to give us like the +2 attack or something, +3 attack. Yeah. That's just too much. It is too much. Pew! 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 Oh, man. Yeah, so that's 2 games. Let's see. So we played I'm not sure what that was, like ramp, right? Double Moonglade, played Mire, played Claw. It looked like one of the slower druids that we saw played at the Dream Hack. And then we played against a zoo. So if we can play against a shaman or a hunter, I'd say that's a pretty good spectrum of classes. Oh, man. Also, guys, I've been trying to add a lot. I've been cleaning out my friends list and making room for, gosh, we need coin. Coin in this deck is so very important. Playing against another druid. So if we had coin, Ringleader's crazy, but I think we're just gonna, like, I almost want to keep just the Undercity and then put back these 2 and just look for a 1-drop because it's so very important for the 1-drop, guys. We didn't get it. So again, we've got 1 more draw to get the 1-drop. So very important. We doesn't get it. We doesn't get it. All right, so this is bad. This bad news bears. So we're just gonna drop the Undercity unless he like innervates out some craziness, right? Please don't innervate, so don't do that. Oh, so what I was saying was I'm cleaning up my friends list, trying to add more people, but from adding more people, I'm getting a lot of whispers during videos asking me like random things that, you know, like, oh, do you have the 80 gold quest? It's like, even if I did, I'm not gonna stop the video to, you know, battle you real quick. I try to just pick out people who interact a lot on the channel for stuff like that, so just keep that in mind, guys. Be generous. I add you, so don't take advantage of that. All right, so this needs to die because it's going to be able to trade into stuff. Backstab, SI agent, that's 4 damage to kill a 3 HP card. Puts a lot of power on the board. Abusive Sergeanting this and then summoning these just feels bad because we can just trade up with this. The Buccaneer hero power, again, doesn't really kill this, so it looks like we're going to have to backstab SI this down and then swing 2 damage face. I know it's 1 damage wasted, but we keep our 2/2 on the board, and then we get to develop a 3/3, and then on top of that, next turn we can go like Buccaneer, hero power, and abusive. So if he wants to like innervate out a Druid of the Claw, we'll be all right. Disciple of Cthulhu. All right, so he's playing Cthulhu Druid, which means we're kind of on a clock, needless to say. We know we want to hero power this down. And this is spend all your mana. So like Buccaneer, that's 4, and this only it's only a 1/1, and then we're really prone to swipe. If we play this as a 4/4, that doesn't feel good. We play it as a 2/2, that also doesn't feel good. We know this is going here. I don't want to abusive sergeant the 3/3, but playing this as a 2/2 feels pretty bad, but it's fun. It's not, there's not going to be a really fantastic turn to bring out 1 giant, whatever the fuck this is, ancient tree, forbidden ancient. Coining out Corruptor, Cthulhu Dragon. Hello? Hello? All right, so do we make trade or do we just abyss that down?
Get in there and fight, maggot.
I think we can abyss that down. I'm gonna make the assumption this guy is not gonna rip the swipe. The swipe devastates me. The swipe ruins me. So at least give me 1 turn without swipe. Then you can have the swipe. Because this guy needs to live 2 turns in order to get the value of a Vis not dropping. Historian, thank you. Thank you. No swipe. No swipe-arino in that fucking chatterino. Fairy Dragon. Alright, I can deal with this. So Buccaneer, hero power, kill that. Swashbuckler is going to get dropped first to see what we get from him. Innervate doesn't really change too much. We know this goes here. And I think we're just going to have to push, right?
Get in there and fight, maggot.
We just go in, boys. We already know he doesn't have the swipe, so what do you got? Don't got what you need to got. Just don't got it. 0 gots. So he's playing Dragon Cthulhu. So I mean, there's only We know he's playing double swipe. 20 cards left in deck. Didn't have it on 5. He has a dragon in his hand. It wouldn't be a taunt or he would have played it. So he has an Azure Drake. Or he has like a big card. So if he plays... I guess he would have Chill Maul. I don't know what he would have. Chill Maul would take up the space of the Twin Veklar. So I don't think he'd play Twin Veklar and Chill Maul. But then again, he's playing Dragon Cthulhu. So this guy, he could be doing anything right now. Why did we get Innervate? That's 2 games in a row. We got Savagery and Innervate. There's all the Druid cards. All of them are fantastic. But just not in this deck, Savagery and Innervate. Come on, man. You're just goosing me right now. You're straight fucking goosing me. Traded. So swipe isn't there. We know that. Innervate's out an 8-drop, so it's either Rag or a big dragon. Okay. So that's the Rag. And then he has another Innervate, and he's going to Hero Power. He's going to kill the 2/1. So Rag can hit basically any creature. The worst ones for it to hit are the 2/2s, because they have obviously the most damage. But if we top deck almost any one of our Chargers, we have lethal. So any target's good for Rag besides a 2/2. Hits the 2/2. Fucking ripperonis. Oh my god. This is like one of the like lowest... Yeah, oh my god, that's bad. I think we just go face. Holy fuck. Oh, this is close. We needed it like anything big. Cold Blood does it. Evis did it. Any of our Chargers did it. This card just doesn't do it. We didn't trade into this because we know he was going to trade into our guy anyway. So Disciple, Hero Power. All right, so it cannot kill... Hero Powers, alright, so if it kills, it just can't kill our 2/3. It's a 60% chance, or 66% chance we win, as long as it doesn't hit the 2/3. Alright. And there's lethal anyway, so. So we were 1 card off the Abyss. And the scary part was when we used the Innervate into the 2/3, we did that so we couldn't swipe and it would kill it, but it also took away from if we drew a combo piece like Evis and he decided he wanted to heal up. So it was like we had to plan out the chances of him healing versus the likelihood of the combo piece being useful enough where it made the difference if he had swipe and taking 2 damage from the creature we had played, giving it the +1/+1. So you kind of, there was a lot more to it than just what I made it look like, but explaining all that was not something that important, but it was kind of. Anyway, so that wraps up our deck guide. We kind of got to see the deck. I'm sorry I don't have all the time in the world. I wish I could have got this done sooner, but there's a lot of decks that I kind of want to go over, and I need to like, we have like 2 or 3 days left until basically the reset, and I want to hit the rank at least. I mean, I'm going to go for Legend, I'm not going to lie, but I think rank anywhere in the 5 is okay. So if I get there fairly easily, we'll see. But hopefully you've enjoyed the deck and the deck guide. Even after the new expansion comes out, I think this deck doesn't really change much with the rogue cards that were revealed, right? So if there's deck guides that come out now and the new cards aren't out, and they're released, you know, the deck guide comes out after the new cards come out. They're deck guides that I don't think will change much based on the new cards. So just keep that in mind. And if they do, it'd be like 1 or 2 cards, which isn't changing the deck as a whole. The core is still there. So those are the deck guides you're going to see from me until the new cards are released. So as always, guys, thanks for stopping by. Of course, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.